We're back, we're ready, we're going to Mirage next, it's not too far away. But the first thing I want to look at here is actually Dignitas could be sat at home now thinking, if this does go tier 0, first of all, they had convincing scorelines. First of all, then we also saw them take down Rez as well. So if Squared did make it to the finals, we could be in for maybe even another potential upset here, which just seems to be what's happening at the 2018 edition.
Yeah, it's actually something you said earlier is exactly what I think too. It's Dignitas' game to lose tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right now, they beat all the champions, and it's only the contenders that are remaining, right, in the tournament. So whoever wins this semifinals has nothing to lose versus Dignitas and everything to gain. I assume they're going to play loose and just try to have fun during this final. And, you know, Dignitas got to come ready and not underestimate their opponent.
Yeah, like when it comes to tomorrow, depending if Square does make it in 2-0 this, I would be a little worried if I was Dignitas because they almost have nothing to lose, so why not like go for it, you know what I mean? Just making all those plays that are working for them right now. And I almost think that maybe though that even though if Squared moves past Vivo, that Vivo's a team that could actually compete with Dignitas, just because I think Dignitas' map pool is so deep, and you know they have those tactical maps with Train and Nuke that they're very comfortable on, and I think Vivo would be comfortable on too, but I'm not sure about Squared.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I'm looking at, and this is more like, so Squared came into that Cobble game, and they literally just, not manhandled them, like they just dealt with them very delicately at first, and then just said, okay, we're going to force it, we're going to play our style. And I'm wondering now if that style will work, if they can just keep pushing forward further here, because Mirage, we said, it's a map that's definitely going to suit them, but Vivo can clearly play it, but can they push them around? Do they maybe go and opt for changing their style and try and match Pug versus Pug, like play a little bit looser? Is that something that could work for them here?
Well, honestly, I don't know if Vivo Kid is able to go Pug style, right? We've never seen them in action doing the Pug style, and I wouldn't be surprised if they can't, you know? I think they're a new team in the international scene. They've never been challenged at that level on stage, being able to adjust while their coach can't communicate to them. He needs, you know, it's CSGO, it's not 1.6 anymore, or the whole CSGO years. These players are kind of new with the current meta. And to play at that high of a level with the pressure, I think they're going to stick to their game plan, which might not be that effective at all situations at all times.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to gain a lot of experience no matter the outcome.
So if we were to see Vivo take this map, what is needed?
I think that they need to play with more aggression right now. It's not that they're playing scared, but to have that confidence to make the plays that they need to push them over that edge, and to, I guess, put Squared in their place and start controlling the game a little bit more. And then once you get that control, then you can fall back on your strats, on the things that are going to give you those consistent rounds that allow you to grind out rounds on T side.
Okay, so it's the gaining control really, and getting yourself a little head start basically, and then fall back into it. Because I guess if you're mixing it up as well, it's going to be hard for Square to keep being able to react to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Vivo Kid starts CT side and lose the momentum early on, it might be a quick game.
Wow, so let's go then. You've started with this, it might be a quick game. What would you predict for Mirage? What are you thinking?
I really thought that Vivo was going to win map 1, and that
we all did, yeah.
Square win map 2. I hope they're going to prove me wrong, but I really think this map and this style is going to suit more Squared, but I hope that Vivo Kid has some tricks in their pockets.
I think it's going to be, I hope it's really close. I think I think it's going to be close, but if Vivo isn't in the game early and they go down a lot, like early on, that they're just going to roll over. And that's something I hope they don't do, but you know, it's always a possibility.
And when you guys played them, so CLG Red were playing on Mirage against them, was there anything particular that you looked at that maybe said, oh, okay, that was a bit different, or you were completely blindsided by like that you didn't expect it? Or was it just dealing with a very raw run-around Pug style that was the thing?
It wasn't actually very like Puggy style. They did just a lot of contact plays, and a few rounds we would give up our middle control, and then they would just walk all the way up to connector and then make contact at connector and then just explode, which is a huge risk because if someone pop flash in the middle, you know, and our cat player swings, she gets 2 free kills. So we lacked a little bit doing that against them, but you know.
Well, we're getting ready for the knife round. Which way is it going to go this time around? Squared got their choice last time. Will they make it happen here on Mirage?
I like the diversity of the knife picks, of the knife skins.
Got a bit of everything.
Yeah, it was. Oh, that was a quick knife round.
That was a very quick knife round. There you go.
It was
decisive.
a really quick knife round, and Vivo comes on top this time. So I think
that gives them.
Might be looking good.
Yeah, there you go. That's the, like you said, the motivational knife whip.
Honestly, like I said, I don't think losing the knife round matters. I think winning it is like, woo, like a little boost.
Especially if you've just lost the map as well, right? If you can come away with that and go, okay, I got the knife round now.
Yeah.
Now we get the choice. Look, we can.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like tap in the back. You can do it. You know.
Yeah. It's like, okay, now we're here to play. Now we're ready to do this. So with that taken into account, most likely CT start for them.
Like we said on Couple, I think Mirage is a map that some teams are really, really good on T side. It's a pretty even map nowadays. In the Counter-Strike scene, especially if like the CT side is a little shaky and unorganized, that's when you see like teams really kind of destroy the T side. But I still think that Vivo is going to pick CT side.
Yeah, I would definitely start CT side too.
Yeah.
It's the more favorite side for sure, yeah. And it's easier to get, especially once you get a good economy, to get rolling on that.
Yep.
Well, we're ready to go. The casters are ready as well. Jackie, Snods, how do you think this game's going to go? Will it be a 2-0 or are we going to see our push to a third map?
Thank you, big man Banks. Of course, for me, I'm expecting a smooth 2-0. Squared, obviously, going to come in strong.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking good, obviously. If we're going to be using the matchup yesterday versus COG Red Mirage, what was it, like a 14-6 advantage? I think it finished 16-8 or something along those lines. So, dominant display of skill and teamwork as well. I've got a bit of a point there about the teamwork.
It's very true, mate, because Spy Leader, actually obviously behind them, going to be able to assist that lineup. One of the great in-game leaders for a time that was able to really rise that E-Frag team to a mass point when they had obviously Bubble & Co that were dealing damage.
Yeah, from Bulgaria, of course, and Heroes, the IGL for this roster coming from Bulgaria. It all makes sense. It all comes back around in one circle. Anyway, there will be the pistol round coming out to entertain us. Diffuse, get them a flashbang here for Cammy as the push comes in towards B.
Well, let's see what they can achieve as they will go for this straight push out and attempt to make the most of this as they slip in, trying to deal some deadly blows here. Bullet Girl as well, fighting out with the Glock Snods as she's hungry for those entry frags. There are 4 CTs remaining, but they've only just arrived and converged on the scene to aid each other.
God, the CT retakes began before the bombs even planted. Smoke is deployed here to try and shroud the windows, so maybe they can go back and try and allude to the fact that they've actually tried to resituate themselves. The problem is that the bomb is stuck.
Yeah, it is going to be down in a bit of a tight spot with Bullet Girl having to just try and stay alive here, essentially. But the support comes in from behind Zonic with a clever play. If she can make this work and actually make the best of a bad situation, it could be manageable. But Bullet Girl goes down. Zonic as well suffers the same fate, and it all falls down to Nessa. It's going to be a naughty round if she wants to win it, but she tries to make it work. She's making a mountain out of an anthill, Snods, as she finds the first 2 frags.
Bomb in her possession now. They know exactly where she is. There is a defuse as well for the CT side. Can they play the crossfire? Oh, she's never expecting to play towards bench as well. Pan will find that last frag. And the pistol goes in favor now of Vivo Keyd. Bomb was just left stranded there towards Van at the start of the round. And maybe Squared Prospect not expecting, the 3-player stack at the start of the round towards the B site from Vivo Keyd. Obviously, the Brazilians with a great read on their pistol. Maybe one of the things you can do really quick as well, before the matchup starts, it only takes 5 minutes, right? Go on your phone, watch the stream back for the pistol round, both pistol rounds, and suddenly in 5 minutes you have the start of both halves from your opposition.
That's very true. Get yourself in the mindset to try and get some things going to AG. But I don't think they've got their phones available, Snuts.
That's true.
You've been rumbled.
That is true. That is true, especially between maps as well.
If it was an Epic LAN, maybe.
Maybe if it was an Epic LAN. Maybe if someone's girlfriend was watching. But
classic meme.
Classic, of course. Only saw the money, but 1-0. That's what the money is in favor of the Brazilians. Going to be 3 SMGs. Make it 4, actually, my apologies. Just the famous there for Pan, but apart from that, up against the pistols, Kevlar. Smoked up a flashbang. Let's see where the smoke does fade, and oh my god, already aggression.
Yeah, that is a dirty entry with the Deagle, but they will be stunk now as the push comes back through. Cammy going to respond the favour as well. She continues on, just unloading with these SMGs. They want to just make this one as quick as possible, really, but they're actually starting to dip down. Now, Hellrose, she's been armed with an MP9. Oh, if she was at a few more seconds there just to arm herself and get situated, that round could have gone incredibly different. But still, fairly good actual eco coming out from Squared.
Damage obviously dealt in terms of the economics of this matchup, but even then, right, going for the play towards the A site, they land the first one dig on Pan. The only player that actually had the rifle as well towards stairs, but Jotny close towards the balcony of Palace, able to find those 2 frags and pretty much stunt or halt the aggression from Squared, but nevertheless, going to be the eco now coming into round number 3, obviously. Full eco here, a round where these SMGs can farm up the cash, and only 1 SMG now, so really goes to show how much money was taken away out of the economy from Vivo Keyd.
Oh, luckily as well, Pan actually adjusts the correct timing so they don't find any cheeky frags there. Hellrose will take down 1, but that is those ecos now out of the way. This is where things start to get serious again.
First buy round, and of course a crucial pistol round that they won at the start of this matchup as well on their map pick. Being down 0-1. Last map in this best of 3 as well, going to be Train is where it will conclude, so fairly even final battleground here, but anyway. 3-0 as we head into the first buy into round number 4. Early exchange as well towards middle. Look at the aggression here from the CT side.
Going for a straight all-out aggress towards mid, as you said, they just burst their way through. Zonic and Hellrose had definitely other ideas in mind, as it's just 1 CT remaining in seconds, Nods. If you blinked, you would have missed that round.
Bomb towards mid. Gabby. Bit of a poor performance in the last matchup, but maybe she can try and have a resurgence into this one. As the bomb makes its way back towards the A site. Vicky playing in towards Palace as well, holding for the rotation towards jungle. Spots to see if anyone from the CT side has come through, and I believe the poor timing there, or maybe she saw Gabby go towards connector, I'm not quite too sure, but obviously Gabby exiting jungle exactly where Vicky is holding now, but unfortunately the timing is not good and in favour for Gabby. Bomb makes its way out A as soon as Gabby leaves.
Yeah, so looking like the first buy round will actually go the way of Squared here, as they've got site control, you've got a 3-1 setup. And it's just going to be Gabby remaining for that CT side. She's playing close short, so she's trying to get a read at least, as she sticks her nose in looking for the information here, peeking across. If Hellrose goes for the peek, Hellrose might be actually take her down as well. Lands the first tag with the AK. If they're feeling confident to try and hunt, they could be a little bit elaborate into this one, but instead Gabby calls it quits and backs up.
I love the passion you see from the Brazilian teams as well. I mean, both male and female. Don't know if you saw on the cams when they were calling some stuff on the B site. Obviously, they were shouting and screaming their calls. Obviously, a lot of times over-rotations can happen from that. You know, if someone's shouting, it's like, 2B, 2B, 2B. And actually, it's just a default maybe. You know, Nessa was there towards B platform holding for the default on her team. Also, you know, it can be quite hectic in terms of comms, 2B. You know, if you're all shouting at once, each player trying to see if they can, you know, be louder than the other to make their call heard. But nevertheless, 3-1, Squared Prospect able to deny any mid control shown by Vivo Keyd. Bit ambitious there to go 4 towards mid and still lose that round as well, which isn't going to be good for the confidence already.
For Vivo as well, deciding who gets what here, the pick of the litter out of the weapons they actually do have available to them. 3 M4s and 2 Famuses will be utilised into this round. You've got 3 kits as well though, so it's actually very healthy in terms of utility that they have to work with to make their lives easier in the post plant.
Buy is fairly weak here from Vivo. 2 Famuses and 3 M4s as well. They have defused kits, Molotovs as well, so the utility is strong at least. But they are versus the 5 AK buy. No AWP going to be dished out just yet for Squared. Saving that one for later just in case things go south. Oh, the underpass peak as well, the double. Actually, where were those frags found? That's hard to actually anticipate. Pan gets 1 frag, Gabby gets 1 frag as well. Towards B apartments, of course, so 2-player advantage now for Vivo Keyd.
Gabby and Pan will both hit up because of it though, so they have been tagged ever so slightly. Squared as well, they're going to try and readjust if possible. They recover the bomb. Vicky has it in her possession. She will attempt to reposition and support Zonic now. Bullet Girl just holding for close mid as well. If they go for a short rotate, she could be very effective as a lurk.
Gabby is low HP as well, so the Molotov thrown out 50 seconds left. As you can see, the rotations come through. They walk into a crosshair. First frag is found. And now into the 2 versus 5. The push towards short actually, as you're right. Gabby hunting towards bench. Bullet Girl finds the opening frag towards the B side. A second as well. 2 versus 3 is the bomb. May go down. The issue is that the afterplant is going to be strong. Bullet Girl can't go back towards short. And if she does, if the bomb's planted for her, there's a real chance if the flank comes in. Vicky is exposed, but the bomb is down. Joltney there towards short finds both of those kills. Yeah,
unfortunate there with the timing as well. Just as the peak came round, the bomb wasn't down. She weren't able to get into a better position. After that, things just went south from there, Snods. That short push was very, very effective for Vivo. So they do actually pick up that round.
Well, pause coming out. I can only imagine from Squared Prospect. They won the first buy round. Now they've been instantly reset. They have, I mean, what? Enough to buy 3 weapons. They can buy the AWP here for Bullet Girl. Obviously, Hellrose can drop that one over. And Bullet Girl can afford the AK to drop back in return. Nessa can afford the AK2. So they can have a 2 AK buy, 1 AWP as well. But even then, the utility is going to be scarce.
That is true. It's not going to be the best position to be in, so it'll be interesting to see actually how they do opt to play this one out. This is where Spy Leader could come into effect as well in terms of actually debating with them and helping them out. But you can see Hellrose very confident in her calls. She does alert her team of what she wants to do into this round. And this is what it's all to play for. That Intel Challenge trophy to make your mark. Obviously, Rez being knocked out of the tournament in their semi-final.
Well, they're not knocked out. Yeah, I mean, obviously they can't win, right? And that's the massive storyline here. They're knocked down into the 3rd, 4th position as a bare minimum. They can no longer actually win the whole tournament. And what, I believe Matt said in the interview, they won the last 3 years in a row.
Yeah, it's back-to-back.
So maybe we are seeing, you know, new hierarchy within the female Counter-Strike scene. Or was it just a blip in the radar?
Well, you wonder, is that the case, or is it just come to the point where Rez have started to stagnate? And this is where the other female teams have begun to surpass them. Teams like Dignitas that are putting in that groundwork. They've got the support, and they are making the absolute most of it. And they're starting to be able to just really get into a position of their own now and best what used to be the old gods.
Well, let's take a look at this one. It will be the force by coming out. Oh, I like that smoke coming out from Bazinga as well. Smoke's the end of apartments. Usually you combine it with the Molotov as well. But a lot of the times we see players push through that smoke, expecting a counter push from the CT side, and Gabby may just be... Ooh, she's no, not going to jump spot. Still alive and kicking, so... 2 players close ramp here from Vivo Keyd. Expecting something to happen towards the side. Bullet Girl with her AWP will actually telegraph that they have gone for the force buy. She makes her way back towards mid as well. The bomb is there. So we're seeing the strong defense once again from Squared. 1-3-1.
Jolty going to go for the push through. Vic adjusts her aim in the nick of time. She will hammer down on that trigger and end her life there. Takes her down as they regroup and appear to be going for a burst towards mid here for a late round crunch on A.
5 versus 4. As the bomb makes its way towards ramp, they're trying to see if they can go for the A split through connector. 50 seconds left as well as the push comes in, and the information is going to be poor. But at least they have such a strong angle here once the assault comes in.
Yeah, Cammy needs to go huge ideally though, but the damage already be done. You can see the panic as well because the fight's across the board as Hellrose gets the first on Bazina. Cammy going to be pushed from all angles. She'll be absolutely swarmed. Luckily, she has the support of Pan, but will Pan peek and aid her? Unfortunately not. Cammy's already been removed. 30 seconds. Now, if they don't know of her location, she could try and intercept when they go for the bomb plant. No one knows yet. She hammers back on the trigger, but still they're not sure. No one's realised. They're confused. Hellrose has no read of where she's playing from because the silence dem 4. She just dances around, Snods.
Silence dem 4 on LAN, paying its weight back in gold. 2 versus 3 here. Hellrose is onto low HP. They have defuse kits as well, so they can actually play their time in this scenario. As the push comes in through Palace. A nice shot there from Gabby, lights things up early.
Yeah, as Gabby does damage with the M4, but she still needs to try and grab a few more frags as the push comes in. Pan can support her now, luckily enough, and it is all on Hellrose. She needs to go huge into the round, but it's all matters was this, just about the defuse. She peeks up, spots the first. Gabby with no real time now. It's got to be a split-second decision. Lobs the Molotov out, but it's not really going to hurt her. Won't stop her. She gets the frag, grabs the AWP for Bullet Girl, and they get another round on the board as they now get 2 picked up. Vivo sitting there with 4, but the economy is now broken.
2 to 4 then. Squared with the A split. After Jontney pushes towards ramp, concedes the 1-player advantage to Vicky's Deagle. And even then, just 2 rifles, 1 AWP, 2 Deags as well was enough to push them over the finish line. Now into round number 7, it will be the 2-4 setup. And actually, going to be forcing some economic troubles now for their opposition. Vivo Kid going to be forced onto the 4. Is this a force by the Quasi-Bar? I'm not quite too sure. How strong is their money right now? If we could see the scoreboard real quick. So it is actually the force buy, Jack. Yeah. It's not going to be, you know, the Deagle Armor Quasi-Buy where they can buy up into the next round regardless. They're putting it all into this.
Yeah, they've really gone for the risk-reward here. And the thing is as well, Snots, if you remember actually on Mirage previously, what was one of those key defining features of Squared was the AWP set piece over on Bullet Girl. She was very effective actually opening up positions of the map. She was good at getting the first entry, very good as a defensive AWPer as well. So let's see if now that she has that in her hands and she's actually given more of an opportunity to work with it, if it'll actually come into her own. Joltney playing up close and personal with a CZ as well. Gets a read, gets a tad bit of information, but then has to reposition.
Frag comes in for Joltney. Ooh, failed refrag there as well from Hellrose, but eventually will be taken down by Vicky towards Palace. As the A split once again going to be coming in for Squared Prospect. Or actually, maybe not. The indecision actually going to be called. Gabby going to be hitting the steps towards underpass. Expects something towards B. Has the counter flashbang to the delay then, but apart from that, in terms of firepower, oh my god. The over-rotation, Jack.
They've elaborately rused them, Snots.
Yeah, all that's been heard is one player towards underpass. Instantly, all 4 players have left the A bomb site, and this is a tilter.
They've been coaxed into a snafu. They've assumed it's B, but in reality, it's A, as they will get that bomb down and start to take this over as their domain. The rotate comes back through, but it's going to be so late now, and there is no kit either.
Let's see how this one does boil down. Famas playing, or should I say the Galil, sorry, playing close range towards CT. All 4 players rotating in here from Vivo Key towards CT. As it is, no crossfire just yet. But the afterplan's going to be such a hard scenario here to win for Vivo Keyed.
Yeah, Bullet Girl's just allowed to go for the peaks, and also is Vic. Vic actually punished by the Deagle of Pan, though. But Pan's in such a tight position, had to go for the peak. Bullet Girl barely misses it. Hellrose just left on 6 HP, peeks through, but the Deagle couldn't focus in and hone in on her. She didn't have the composure, so she will fall short. As Squared now get round number 3.
Well, going to be the Eco coming out as well for Vivo Keyed. So we should be seeing a 4-4 scoreline here, Jack. Obviously the MAC-10 as well for Nessa, so they are going to be trying to farm up some cash. We've seen a lot of weak hands versus these four spies, sorry.
Ooh.
Pressure towards mid. Bullet Girl misses the first shot though.
But it doesn't matter, Snod. Sonic just going to be hiding there in the anti-flash angle with support of their teammates. In reality, they should win this firefight quite easily. They won't really be able to recover that AK. They do bypass Bullet Girl now, though, as they've pushed in, and the brute force has forced them to fall back. You don't want to try and take those firefights against the pistols that up close either. So just wait for Hellrose to come in, try and mop up those eco frags.
Top goes out. Will force the Zinger to go for the face. Will eventually be taken down for the double face from Hellrose and Bullet Girl. Actually, the AWP going to be taken out of play. Oh, spots out the last 2 remaining players here. Joltney, just the USP in hand. No real chance of finding success into this one as the wide face comes in from Hellrose. And there you have it, 4-4 as we head into round number 9.
Yeah. Quite a cost-efficient round, though, as they do actually force out 2 rebuys, at least. One of them being the AWP that wasn't saved. So they did do a bit of damage.
Yeah, at least it's something to write home about, potentially. 4-4, though. And we saw the early advantage of Vivo Keyed maybe being swiped away. Double AWP setup now being called for Vivo Keyed. It didn't really work last time, you know, they called it, but it was all Bazinga towards B platform, right? And actually, if anything, it made things worse because their money was so absorbed around the double AWP buy. Definitely tried it up, but nevertheless, execution comes in.
Ooh, Joltney with the first, though, as Hellrose just went for the all-out aggressive play. Hit him hard and fast, and hope it works out. It doesn't really go her way. Cammy as well, punishing Sonic there, Snods, through the smoke, I believe, just takes her down. This is looking effective. You've got 3 players on that T side on the site, sure, but if they can't get themselves into a good position to try and make this round manageable, it isn't going to go their way. Taken down as well as Joltney gets spammed. Takes down Nessa. Bullet Girl will turn the favour with her AK, but they have to do so much to make this work.
Now all on Bullet Girl. 1 versus 3. Finds the first frag onto Cammy. Minute left to work with. No utility as well, so hard scenario to even get the bomb down, but she may actually succeed in that. Face comes in towards stairs, though. Joltney, Angel and Captain in for Vivo Keyed, denies any chance for Squared to get the cash pumping from the defuse, vice versa, from the bomb plant, sorry. Once again, the force by coming through here for Squared. AWP onto Bullet Girl, 2 AKs, exact same story we saw when they actually reset the money for Vivo Keyed when they were down 4-1. So, round number 10. 3 players towards mid once again, the exact same 1-3-1. Leaving Hellrose towards underpass. Vicky towards ramp. And then 3 players obviously coming out towards mid. So, Joltney as well towards connector. So the smoke will delay them just for now.
you've got that mid-control, Snods. Now, this was a very common play from Squared as well. They were quite effective at gaining mid-control and forcing the attack position they actually played against before to completely change their mid-setup. Now, Vivo, they're playing for choke points. If we see the connector burst, that's where they'll have success. But right now, Squared have got an abundance of map control.
Bomb, still towards T-Spawn, of course, but they have Vicky towards ramp this time instead of Palace. Who comes in as the flashbang is deployed. Actually, the spot comes in. Nessa, so close to Molotov as well. She won't be burning alive just yet.
This could work out well, though, if she gets the frag, but of course, Bazina was ready for it, so it's an easy spam with the Famous to stop her in her tracks and end her reign of terror. Hellrose with a swift tap off the AK there towards Pan. She wanted no shenanigans into the round as Vic and Zonic, the two remaining players on that side. They've only got Deagles. But can they turn this one a little bit dastardly as they push their way through, trying to deal some damage? What an absolute animal Zonic is, Snods. That was filth.
Definitely been a player that's maybe slipped under the radar just a little bit. In terms of impact frags as well, we said yesterday, right? The stars were Zonic and Bullet Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the groups. And today, you know, Ness has found her form into this lineup, but yeah, Zonic's had those really crucial impact frags, and obviously the clutches as well in the last map.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. She's had the most barrels of impact frags just tied to her, and she's just looked crisp. She's been landing shots that you don't expect people to hit. That's the thing that's actually been very refreshing.
Well, with the eco, though, of course, Squared going to have their money reset after going for the force buy, and the force buy being futile. Molotov and Gabby just going to be jump spotting towards B. As the push eventually will come in, they have one flashbang and it's deployed.
Ooh, see if the Molotov can halt them in their tracks as they try to turn up the heat on this one. Vic in the air as she glides through, showing off her acrobatic skills, Snods. They've been armed as well. They've been rallied and readied, and they want to pick this one up. They do not give a damn. They're taking this with force. As they push in the shop, they want to cause a commotion, discount prices, and discount frag, Snods. Everyone's going down. It's just Joltney left, trying to take short control. Vic's had a 3K. She wants to try and turn it into a 4K, but instead it will be Zonic with another juicy one-tap coming out.
Wow, and this is the T side as well coming out from Squared. 5-6 now. Vivo Keyd going to be reset again, it seems, as the round loss bonus goes back down to just $1,400. They have, what, enough to buy for one player, that's Cammy, usually the AWPer. Now just going to be deducted down to the M4. They have one defuse, get there onto Pan. Utility is fairly abundant, but apart from that, CZs, FAMASs, UMPs, the buy is extremely weak here, Jack. If they get reset as well, there should be the victory, not the victory, sorry, the advantage going in favour of Squared as well when you consider the eco that should come following this.
Yeah, the momentum advantage is really, advantage to actually get them going. Actually keep their heads in the game so they can continue on in a good manner. Vic with the entry as well. She's allowed to peek out, takes down Cammy, gets the first frag on the board, leaving just 4 CTs remaining, but she did take a heavy hit because of it. And there is actually a push from Joltney as well. Tiptoeing her way back round, just going to be able to hold towards T-spawn.
Well, 5 versus 4 here. Vicky found the first frag, but eventually traded out there by Joltney towards ramp. Gabby playing up close to the FAMAS. Bazinga baiting for her with the CZ. Strong setup here towards B apartments from Vivo Keyd.
Contact play, they pushed in off the back of it, but Gabby, what a glorious play, Snods. She gets the double kill on the headshots there with the FAMAS. CZ reigns supreme as well against Zonic. And it all comes down to Nessa. But can she try and pull this one back from the jaws of defeat, essentially? They're so close to losing this round. The bomb is down in an awkward position. You've not got much time. Decisions need to be quick. But Gabby misses a easy shot there. It should have been hers to take. The pre-fire comes through, but luckily she'll back it up and make up for it when she re-peaks.
5-7. Squared Prospect this time. They're the ones on the receiving end of being reset. And this is the thing, this game is so close. The scoreline obviously represents that, Jack, but this game has been a battle for money.
Well, that was great.
Not sure about that, but
Someone in production said a giggle.
yeah, absolutely loving this game so far, they are. But it's been good. It's been very competitive. Obviously, on Cobblestone, it was always leaning in the favour of the international squad of Squared Project. But this time, you know, you can see the Brazilians fighting back. Sorry?
Squared Project. That sounds like a basement underground music movement.
What,
Squared Project, yeah.
It does a bit.
Jackie and Snods back with the Squared Project.
Hello, I'm Cubed. Welcome to the DJ segment.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Gonna be slapping some fat beats in your face.
Well,
Meanwhile with the CS.
meanwhile, Counter-Strike. Vivo taking... Well, actually, it's Vivo taking a timeout. I actually quite like that because well, every single round they've won, Jack, they've been reset basically instantly afterwards.
By the way, you're a DJ. Do you know what that stands for?
Let me have a quick think. DJ. Disco jumper? I don't know.
No, it's the disc jockey. You're the disc jockey. You're in charge of the discs. You know what MC means?
Mic champion?
No, the mic commander. You're the commander on the mic. There you go.
There you go. The more you know. You always learn little weird things with us.
Yeah, man.
That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. We're like school, but terrible. Anyway, back in the game here as we continue on Mirage. 5-7 is the scoreline. Squared currently behind, but starting to try and claw it back. Vivo in the lead, Snods.
Flash comes over towards B apartments. There's going to be the buy coming out from Square Project. P250 here for Nessa, but that's about it. UMP there for Hero Rose. Galil, AKs for the rest of the squad here for the T side. MP9 from Jotny, maybe expecting a weaker buy than actually was being put up, by Squared. Or maybe the money's just that low. Really goes to show how this game's been on a knife's edge so far. You know, it can really slip either way in favour of the Brazilians on the international side of Squared.
It's true, obviously Squared, I'd say more known for their T side. That was what we really saw they were excelling. That's where they can play to their strengths. But it was usually the mid control that was boding well for them, especially when Bullet Girl had the AWP and her and Zonic were playing as that duo. Now into this one, it's been a little bit different. Obviously, Vivo have actually had a very effective CT side setup, and they've been able to counter the majority of plays. But Squared set themselves up as they group up towards B, Snods.
Well, let's find out how this one's eventually going to unfold. Bomb making its way towards B apartments. They're lining up the smokes as well to execute upon the B bomb site. Going to be leaving just Jotny alone towards the A site. The push came in towards Palace, now pushing in towards Ramp as well. They have so much early information here, Jack. They know it's going to be the B site take. But do they expect 3 players towards middle? That's going to be the caveat here.
Well, let's see if they slip their way in, trying to go for the aggressive burst in towards that B site. Gabby's ready with the M4, but her teammates are going to do the damage for her. It's not even necessary. Joltney as well, hiding in short, connector rather. She picks up the correct time and she can deal some damage, but it's only an MP9, so the range is going to be restricted. However, she will dunk on them as the nade rolls in, tags them up even further, but Bullet Girl on the entry. She is fiery, and she's ready to deal damage. Turns away to try and deal with a flash, but she was slightly too slow. Executed by Joltney, but it is Hellrose left in a 1v2 clutch situation here. She has the UMP to play with, not the best range capabilities as she tries to back off. Obviously couldn't quite find that frag on towards short. Cammy takes it down with the AWP as well on the retake, and that's Vivo grabbing round number 8.
Great player there from Vivo Keyd. Aggression finally being showed here by the Brazilians. Jotny goes for the Palace peak, obviously spots no one. Goes in towards ramp as well, sees no other players here for Squared, which means anticipates the complete stack towards the B side from Squared, and the execution comes in. They have 4 players there. It's still down to a 2 versus 2. I think if Bullet Girl doesn't actually, or if she does actually dodge that flash, maybe there could have been another round here for Squared. They will be going for the 4 spot, of course.
Yeah, they will do. But the CT side making it work very easily here as well with their UMPs and AKs. They do start to spray and pray and rip their way through. But to their disarray, Snods, over on the B site, Nessa slipped in, wants to try and get that bomb planted. It'll be additional cash and potentially around if they can make this work, as so far they seem to be prospering. Zonic with the aggressive push straight in. She's looking to try and cut some prices and cut off some heads.
This next frag is so important here. 3 versus 3. The around the world essentially coming out from Hellrose, and she's hoping that her teammates can delay for long enough as she comes towards short. The bomb is planted for short as well, so if Hellrose makes it there in time, we'll easily be seeing what's going on here. Nessa turns away at the precisely wrong time. Defuse comes in, they're lined up, Jack.
This could be dreadful. Hellrose, she's got to connect the shot, Snods, but it didn't work. They get the defuse. Oh, it was all building up to success for Squared, but at the last moment, it's not gone that way. Into this round, though, the rebuy is going to be coming back through, just scavenge together what they actually can get out for this one. Bullet Girl only on the Deagle. She can be deadly with it, though.
Yeah, we've seen all these weird force buys as well come out from Squared. Obviously, 1 Deagle here, 1 UMP there, 3 rifles, maybe 1 AWP as well. The buys have never really been too strong so far for Squared. The rounds have been close, right? 1 versus 1s, 1 versus 2s. Rounds that really come down to the wire, but every single time the Brazilians somehow pull through.
Yeah, that is true. They just seem to be able to clutch it out in the late round. The comms actually look very good on their CT side here on Mirage. It's definitely a different story from what we saw on Cobblestone. It was a little bit more messy. Here it seems like they've got some cohesion. They've got their heads down. They're dug into the server. And they're doing a very effective job.
Yeah, they are indeed, but Obviously for KeydStars, if they finish this half with double digits on their CT side as well, they're going to be extremely confident going into the second half. As we see, all 5 players grouping up here from Squared Prospect coming in towards the A site. Joltny, Molotov as well to deny the execution potentially out through ramp as she's playing towards stairs. Oh, they actually go for mid-control here, Jack. The timing could be worse.
Oh, the gamble. They've gone for the risk, but it's not paid off. Luckily, Cammy's there, but Cammy needs to go huge into the round. She's zoned out. The smokes are there. Everyone is going to be gasping for information at this point. They have no real read on what's occurring, but it doesn't even matter. Snodge, Joltny, elevated angle in play. She's got the high ground, but the Padawan fights back. Bullet Girl finds the headshot towards Joltny and starts to make this round ever so slightly more manageable. The bomb is down. Hellrose cannot move from her angle though. She has to stay by ticket box, and she's just been consistently spammed that. She will fall short, and it all comes down to Zonic. Can the Z-Meister win this round, Snods, with just the Galil in her back pocket?
Molotov goes out, Smoke as well, goes out for the peak, but unfortunately taken down straight away there. Cammy holding the angle of the orb, anticipates the play towards Connector. Obviously the bomb planted from mid, they mollied ramp, they cleared ramp. It had to be jungle or Connector. And there you have it, 10-5. That's now double digits for the Brazilians going forward into their T-half. And for me, Jack, if the pistol's lost here for Squared, they're going to be leaning towards Train, thinking about, okay, we can let this one slide. We have the one map advantage already.
That is true. It depends at what point your heads start to dip. For Squared CT sides as well, it seems like at times they've been a bit hit and miss, rather. They have actually had a few whiffs in a couple of rounds, but they definitely can actually get themselves together. They've had moments where they have been lagging behind and then just jumped into the driving seat and really taken a sparse lead. So let's see if that can happen here, Snuts.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, these pistol rounds are so pivotal. Hellrose with the push towards ramp. Oh, unable to find the actual first frag there. It comes out towards CT as well onto Sonic. So we are seeing a 4 versus 4.
She had the confidence to go for it. It was a bold play, and if it paid off, it would have been absolutely fantastic, but it didn't go down the way she ideally wanted it to. There's a response as well with Sonic blowing out the server as that HE pops in her air. And we do move through as well. 3 players remaining attempting to mount this retake on the A site. Nessa peeks. It's going to be a double player face, but she actually gets the first and is able to get away with scot-free with a reload. Take the fight on the second. Bullet Girl's there to provide aid as well. Gabby only has 4 HP, but she needs to try and bide her time. Decide for the right execute. Joltny falls, and it's all on Gabby. She's just got to spam. Ideally, Bullet Girl should get this defuse, and they will grab a pistol in a very interesting manner.
Well, pistols go 1 for 1 then. 6-10 now as we head into round number 17. Bomb was planted though for Vivo Keyd, so this might be the eco coming out here from the Brazilian side already. Oh, the AUG.
Her favourite. She whips out the AUG. She does love a bit of the AUG, mate. We've seen it before, and she's actually quite effective with it. The Classico as well. Take it towards mid, and hope she can put some bodies in graves.
Let's see, obviously it was fairly effective yesterday versus CLG Red. Spray wasn't really the most attractive, but let's see. Flashbang comes out, doesn't really blind her. Probably going to be away from a flash here, but actually throws her own instead. Flashbang comes out, goes for the wide face. What's no one just yet? Interesting as well, Jack. Full force spike coming out from Keyd.
Yeah, they really want to try and bite back instantly.
Yeah, the issue is, of course, if they give up too much ground, this could go 10-8, and then suddenly they're only 1 buy round between each other.
That's true. Will their bark be louder than their bite? Let's wait and see as this push comes down. Looking like they do want to go for that burst up through short and crunch towards B. Bullet Girl, she rotates over with the correct time, and then she should be able to provide assistance. The push comes in, but she doesn't even need to. Big with a double kill. That is fantastic into the round. She's bought her teammates time to arrive on the scene of the crime, but can they actually take more members down? The spam with the AUG comes through as well. Headshot galore as Bazinga hits the deck, and it all falls to Joltny now. CZ in hand, quaking in her boots. She's been eliminated. It's not Squared. Get that second round.
Ha! I wonder if they're going to save the Galil. Sorry, the AUG.
Hey, whose AUG is this? Oh, they can't find the AUG. There we go. Oh, no, she doesn't want it. They debated it.
Oh, no.
Oh, they do want it.
No, they do. She's got the UMP, though.
There we go.
There she is. Got the AUG. So 10-7. And right now, we should be seeing the buy come out from Key. They've got the bomb down in the last run as well, so they could warrant themselves the AK buy. The issue is, of course, what? 3 AKs at that. 2 players survived as well for Squared. But it will be the eco instead coming out here, so it seems like KeydStars are learning their lesson.
No. They are going to be setting up, going for that A play though. You've got 3 smokes, you've got 1 flash and Joltny. Before Hellrose went for the audacious play, obviously if it did pay off, it would have been fantastic, but now playing more of a standardized position with support with Zonic, not the two players I'd really want to be pushing against when you don't have armor or any real assistance.
Yeah, deja vu to what we saw yesterday. Hellrose playing towards balcony, the T side on full eco, bursting out through the Palace smoke.
They say she can end pushes just on her lonesome. She's doing that once again, Snod, proving that fact to be true. She gets the first. There is a response from Cammy, fires back on the P250, but Zonic's had two. She said, you know what, I'll have a third as well.
10-8 as we head into round number 19. Orc going to be kept into place, so no orb so far for Bullet Go into this one. Just going to be the scoped weapon nevertheless towards mid. 4 M4s as well to round off the rest of the CT buy. The issue is that when you lack the AWP on your CT side Mirage, it's very easy for the opposition's AWP to roam the map, right? Go for the B pick.
Org versus AWP. Org wins every time. They're actually committing with the push as well. They're going to be repositioned now and backing off. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm not surprised. It's the first time I've seen it.
Works out well though. Bullet Girl.
She faces as well towards the AWP and wins that duel. 5 versus 4 now. I was going to say, when you know there's no AWP on the opposing side, you can get very aggressive towards Palace, go for the jungle peek, and spot the rotations from jungle to connector. You can go towards ramp and go for the contact peek towards triples, you know, CT take a booth, statue, sight as well. And towards mid, connector, short, you name it, you can get so aggressive with the AWP. But it seems that the AWP seems to be favoured instead.
I mean, they both do have scopes, so similar in
That's
some
the
way.
common ground at least.
Yeah, it's true. At least they're somewhat in the same family of weapons. Anyway, push comes through. Oh, Hellrose with a crispy little tap there as well. Takes down Vizina. Wanted to try and get the second frag, and it doesn't really go down like that. But luckily, the Org is there to save the day, as per usual, just causing some Orgracious scenes. Sonic, she might not actually realise the location here of Pan, and Pan will get the drop on her.
1 versus 3. Bomb. In the possession now of Squared. Smoke comes out towards CT. Flashbang as well. Actually, Molotov, my apologies. Bullet Girl, of course, with the scoped weapon. Going to go for the peek, but instead walks into Vic's crosshair. Easy spray down for her. 9-10. As the second map goes down to the wire, and KeydStars losing 4 in a row. They went for the risky force buy in the second round after they got the bomb plant down. They could have had, you know, 2 buys by now, essentially, Jack. Instead, going to be deducted down to just an eco once more. So this scoreline should be reading 10-10. And this is the part where, for me, Keyd really have to step up.
And it looks to be the definition of insanity, Snods. Once again, when they do go for this force buy, it's just going to be trying the old ground that is well trodden, pushing in towards that B site. Nessa's there, though. She's armed with an AK. She wants to make some bodies hit the DECK, but let's see if her slow splay will be remarkable, or if she'll be unable to take the advantage into this one as the push comes through. Tries to back off and take the first fight. Gabby will get the first shot with the P250, but Nessa starts to unload like a Loch Ness monster there, Snods.
3 versus 3. Ha, just got that joke. 3 versus 3. Push comes in towards kitchen. Reload comes out from the Orc here, and actually, Hellrose finds 1. Gets a second as well towards short. Coming down the 1 versus 2. No Kevlar. P250 is all she has, and now she's been spotted. And eventually, the 3K from Hellrose on the retake towards the B-bomb site. 10-10. Bomb was planted, though, so that might mean the AWP coming out for Vivo Keyd. Keyd in his first.
These are actually the rounds as well where Hellrose comes into her own. If you put her in a position where she needs to try and close out a round in the late stages, she's very effective at clearing angles. I think that just comes down to her slower style of play as well. She's very methodical in how she'll approach rounds every time.
Well, someone's leading by example. 22 frags here for Hellrose on this second map of Mirage. The map pick of their opposition as well. KeydStars falling short on Cobblestone. Now into this crucial byron for both of these teams. Vivo Keyd, if they can see the advantage, it's going to be so hard to get it back. As it seems like we will be seeing a B split happening fast as they come up towards short. Oh my gosh!
Well, this is interesting. Pete comes through as well. Reface from Vic. She takes down Bazina. And it's just on Cammy and Joltney.
Hellrose, this game has been unbelievable. 2 frags over the connector smoke there to deny the B short split. Zonic holding towards underpass. No one's spotting towards top mid for her, so this is getting... Oh my god, the timing is so perfect.
She's so lucky. Oh, the rephase as well. She will get the first, but it falls into a 1v2. Cammy, she's got the AWP. If she can attempt to try and isolate these, if they push her, maybe she'll get something out of it. Vic actually going to go for a bit of a gamble. Repositions round. They are actually moving off B as well. But they catch her out on the rotate. Cammy couldn't do anything there, wasn't aware. Take her down. They also now finally grab an AWP for Bullet Girl as well. And even though they've got so much cash, it's for free.
It's for free indeed. AWP from Cammy's inventory. Traded over, obviously with the Steam Guard. 11 to 10. And yeah, I don't know if I see KeydStars bring this one back. They've conceded the lead. They've lost 6 in a row now. Seems like their T side's been fairly flat.
It does. It just seems like there's not much ingenuity to it, to be honest with you. It seems like in terms of creativity, things have really hit a brick wall. But this is the exact opposite of what we see from Squared. When those issues arise, they went into those pauses, and it was a big discussion. Hellrose was always very, very confident in what she wanted her squad to do. Is that going to be the same from Vivo? And just look at the expression on their faces. They look lifeless, Snods. They look deflated and defeated.
Vivo going to be taking their second tactical pause this matchup as well. Round number 22. Right now, what do you call if you're KeydStars? You've obviously tried to go for the B split. Could have definitely worked if Hellrose doesn't go crazy towards Connector. The issue is as well, it's very hard to avoid Hellrose at this point, right? She's playing towards Connector.
Yeah.
She's going to have presence towards mid, presence towards A. The only real way to dodge her is to go for a flat-out B execution. But even then, some of these frags and highlights have been towards B shot on the B retake.
She looks ready. She looks ready to go right now. She wants the rumble, Snods. You can see her getting ready to just deal some damage, give out some digs.
Well, if they win this one, they will be versus Dignitas tomorrow.
Exactly that.
And more of that.
But for the meantime, would you look at that? As we get back into the action, continuing on, there he is, Snods. Squared Prospects versus Vivo Keyd, 11 to 10. Squared finally gaining the lead as they've gone uncontested. 6 rounds on the trot, back to back. Will it end?
Seems like more of a default coming out here from Vivo Keyd, expecting some aggression across the map. Bomb left towards T-spawn, leaving Gabby alone towards Palace. Bomb. Well, Joltney smoking towards window, or top middle actually. This is the thing, right? I was watching the FaZe Na'Vi demos from Star Series, right? And one of the things they would do is they changed up the approach in terms of mid control. Nico would smoke top of connector, go towards Palace. Karrigan would smoke window from T-spawn. And they would swing up mid, and window and top of connector already smoked out. And then you molly connector, and there's no chance anyone could be in there. And it seems like the female meta has been lagging behind, essentially. Is there, you know, an abundance of demo watching going on within these teams? Obviously now with all the structure and the facilities they have now, are they going to be able to keep up with the meta? Well, let's see. First frag found here by Zonic. So it seems like the second half momentum's been carried forward once again.
So 4v5 into this round. Vivo losing time and losing players by the second as well, as another player will go down. Luckily, Bazina has other ideas in mind. She will attempt to at least rebel against these CTs now into this, as it falls into a 3v3. 6 women alive on the battlefield, but the CTs are in effective positions. Bullet Girl as well. She's got a classic weapon here that she made a name for herself with, the AWP. She's hunkered down, just waiting for the push to come through. Cammy on the site gets the bomb plant. Pan has no reason now to peek as well. So Bullet Girl actually becomes a bit inefficient, especially when Nessa tries to go for the play. It's so hard to get the frag there. If they're holding it, you're going to die essentially every time. But not if you're Vic, as she pushes back through, ready to rumble.
Diffuse kit, but no smoke. Ooh.
Ooh, bit of a love tap there. For confidence, of course.
Misses the shot, whips out the deagle. Pan is onto such low HP. Vic maybe just going to play for extra frags here. Has the diffuse kit. Time is ticking away. Cammy goes for the first phase. I think if she'd won that, maybe. Just maybe that could have been the upset there. But it will go 11 to 11. So the slow default towards A ends up finding themselves the first round. And we see an instant pause coming out from Squared.
But this is the thing. This is good. This is what we were impressed about before. How, you know, sparse and how effective they have been using these pauses in terms of when they're actually going to have a big impact in the game. You lose one round off the back of a pause from them, instantly going with your pause, reset, recalibrate, work out what went wrong, adjust off the back of it. And it's also the fact that just that mental game from attack pause, how it affects your opponents, Nuts.
Yeah, I mean, we saw great use of it from Dignitas, obviously. Every single time Res Gaming would falter, make a mistake, they instantly went for the 2-minute pause. Basically rubbing salt into the wounds. But now, obviously, 2 players surviving from Vivo Keyed. So the issue is, what happens if they get reset here, Jack? And it goes 12-11, they reset their money. They could be running away with the advantage going forward, but the pause does go eventually live, so we'll be going straight into round number 23.
Yes, we'll continue on into this one. The buy for Squared is a little bit all over the place, as they've just grabbed whatever they could find down the back of the sofa snods. You've got the AWP on Bullet Girl, Deagle coming out for Zonic, 2 M4s and a UMP there over on Hellrose. Let's see if it's going to be manageable. Meanwhile, for Vivo, once again grouping up, this time holding what potentially could have been a mid push, as they have been dubious. There's been a lot of aggression from Squared towards mid, and you can see that actually starting to leave some fear in the Vivo members.
AWP towards B apartments here from Bullet Girl. Obviously, we saw a lot of presence towards B from Vivo Keyed. Obviously, trying their best to avoid Hellrose on your screens now towards Connector. First frag is obviously found from Gabby. Counter push comes in towards Ramp. Nessa gets all the information she needs. Ramp is now completely clear here from Keyed. So they're going to be expecting the over-rotation towards the B-bomb site from Vivo Keyed. And they're going to be right. UMP here still for Joltney. 3 AKs in the AWP as well for Cammy. On the flip side, only 4 players remain here for the CT side defense. UMP for Hellrose. And the AWP from Bullet Girl. She spots 1 player. Let's see how this one does conclude.
Oh, they're going to line up for her. She's pixel sniffing. She's got the angle on lockdown, but unfortunately, she couldn't quite land the shot. Forced to fall back, as she will land out a warning shot and a smoke. But everyone's drawn back as well. They're going to rotate around. But the only thing is, Nessa, if she puts the brakes on quickly enough and starts to deal damage, it could be huge. She gets both of the frag snods, and the bomb is gifted.
20 seconds left. They can no longer win the round. Just fishing a barrel now, trying to see if they can salvage their weaponry to the next round. There's no chance they can win anymore unless they find all 3 frags, which you better hope Squared Prospect don't give away their lives for free here. Hellrose waits patiently, and the peak comes in. She wins the duel. Pan in the 1 versus 3 now, obviously. Time does tick away. Doesn't want to die after time, obviously, and receive no round loss bonus, but she will survive until the night. But the reset comes through, Jack, and it's not pretty. 12-11 now, and Squared Prospect may have just booked their ticket to the final.
It's true. It's looking like what we're shaping up to have here on the boards, Nods, as Vivo, the investment they've had to go for is essentially just a mishmash of weapons they've grabbed. Full investment as well. They're committing to this.
Well, force buy comes through. Obviously, if Squared win this one, it goes 13-11. They force the eco out from Vivo Keyed. Should be seeing a 14-11 scoreline here for Squared Prospect, if they can finally reset the money for good for Vivo Keyed. Every single time they get so close, yet so far. But that was when they were on their T side. Ever since they did flip over, the CT side here from Squared has been so strong, only conceding 1 round and winning 7 so far in the second half, as the bomb makes its way towards the A site, this time leaving just Hellrose alone towards B. Most likely going to be coming in towards underpass for some sort of a flank.
Looks like they're going to be grouping up and taking a hit against the A site here. As in terms of utility snods, they've only got 2 smokes to aid them. Over at that B site, Pan wants to try and force the rotate if possible. Pan actually gets the first frag and has done her job well. You can see the instant over-rotate from this. They haven't seen bomb, they haven't seen smokes. It's just been a slow contact play, and it's drawn 2 players off already, just leaving 1 lone ranger on the site. It's all on Zonic here.
Playing passive. If Keyed make no noise as well. Oh, that is a 1-shot headshot there from Joltney. 5 versus 3 now. Smoke does bloom, but a little bit too late. Pan able to survive here. The frag from Nessa does come through. Joltney finds the second frag as well for herself into the round towards CT.
Hellrose with a very, very cheeky play there. Wanted to try and pull something out of the bag potentially, but her teammates have already been ripped to shreds. It only comes down to Nessa now with a 1 versus 3. She finds the first frag on Gabby. Seems like she will make the smart decision though. Back off, stay alive, don't throw away this round, throw away this weapon as well. If you're going to lose the round, you might as well keep what you've got in your inventory.
Somehow, Jack, we're seeing a 12-12 scoreline. UMPs, Deagles, and still, somehow, someway, it was enough. I don't know, I'm speechless here, Jack. It feels like every single time KeydStars have pistols, be it their CT side, now their T side, they always find success. They're always so close to being fully reset, pushed onto ecos instead. They bring it back when push comes to shove. As we do go live into it again. Round number 25 then. 12 to 12 as we are all squared up. And it's going to be the force by coming out from Squared Prospect. I think, Jack, they just let their 2-0 slip away. I think Vivo Key'd win this one now.
It seems like that's what's shaping up for Snods, especially if Vivo continue in this manner. This is going to be the lead taken, ideally, but then again, Squared have been outrageous in some of these rounds when it comes to their pistol prowess. So if we see some of that coming through, maybe it'll be a bit of a different tale. Let's wait and see as the round develops. Joltney towards mid, looking if she can find any faces to punish with her AK, but as of right now, it is quite quiet across the battlefield. Still a minute and 16 left on the clock here to try and decide who will take the advantage in round 25. Both teams at 12 rounds apiece.
Ooh, really good setup here, coming towards ramp. As they push forward, Cammy, Bazinga, holding the angle as well. All comes down to these duels.
Well, Hellrose drops first. Oh, there is a response from Zonic though with a 5-7. She gets the second Snod. She's making it manageable as she dives through, but the peak comes out while she's reloading. Somehow she stays alive and gets away with a free tag as well. That is just crazy to say the least. Towards mid as well, there's a firefight between Pan and Vic, but Pan had the better angle in terms of things there. Forces Nessa back as well from the Molotov. She can actually peek out. Pan's unprotected. It's now a 2v2 fight, but Bullet Girl doesn't have a real firearm. She's only got a sidearm to work with.
P250 for Bullet Girl. Nessa Wood in the M4. They have a defuse kit and the Molotov as well to work with. Bullet Girl actually going to retrieve the AK, so good communication here from Squared Prospects. After plumb positions aren't really the best here as well. Joltney going to be spotted up. Jumps by accident, surely.
It must have been.
It's not planted for ramp, come on! It's only planted for CT or Palace. Clear that first. They tap the bomb. And Gabby's... Ooh, is she going to face?
She's going to face
No one's holding for ramp, Jack.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, that was interesting.
Well, this game does carry on. 12 to 13 then, as now the eco's going to come through. You saw the frustration as well from Bullet Girl. She wasn't happy with that one.
It's a horrible round to lose as well, because it now puts them into this position where you don't really have too much to work with, Snods. They're going to have to just try and work with that P250 on Nessa. 2 flashes as well, but it's not really going to be too much. If there's aggression towards mid, it looks like they could go for a swarm play and just try and overwhelm, potentially get a gun. But that's the best case scenario here. Vivo are actually shaping this up to try and push it to the 3rd map now.
Yeah, and that 3rd map being Train. A map we haven't seen so far in this tournament from Squared Prospects. That'd be interesting to see. Carry on the angle of the AWP as well. 3-player push towards middle as they go back towards short. So Bazinga should be hearing that. Actually, no, they're making their way silently back towards B. So the stack's going to come in towards the B-bomb site. Smoke comes out towards window. Misses. Bazinga still gets that frag. Here it comes though. Boost, I like this, Jack. This could be very effective.
Well, let's see what happens here. Hellrose going to be holding the angle. It is quite cheeky, but it doesn't really work out too well. So no massive impact frags through that. But this is where it should pay dividends. Snods. She's been dinked, but she gets away. Unfortunately, turned to mincemeat anyway as Bazinga arrived on the site. The ideas were there, but the execution wasn't perfect. Vivo Key'd pick it up, but the rebuy comes back through. Round 27. Vivo Key'd have 14 rounds on the board. They've got a lot of firepower, and they're starting to gain confidence. Squared now have a buy. Bullet Girl back on the AWP as well. That is a big factor.
Definitely. AWP as well for Cammy. Haven't seen the biggest impact so far into this matchup, but she has found her 1 or 2 frags that are needed. Hellrose burning alive into the Molotov, still goes for the spray through the smoke. Bomb towards Palace. So, 1 towards middle from Joltney, the IGL and captain. 2 towards Palace, but make it 1. Bullet Girl finds the first frag this time with the AWP. Player advantage. Hellrose can split out maybe from the elbow. Or fall back. Still. Going to be the A player here as they try to go for the A split.
They're making it work though. Hellrose as well with support of Zonic. They fire down and find that frag. It's Cammy and Joltney to try and claw it back as this round is nearly done, Snods. Bullet Girl knocks down the angle towards close connector. If the push comes through, it will be on her. But instead, a teammate does the damage anyway. Vicious Vic starts to spray, deal damage. It's all on Cammy into a 1v3. Somehow doesn't fall to Bullet Girl there as well. She misses that shot. She's got the bomb, lands the kill with a P250, makes it a 1v2. Vivo Keyd really wanted to grab match point right here, right now. They don't want to mess about, Snuts.
45 seconds left then. Bullet Girl playing the cubby in towards jungle. We'll be baiting as well. Trying to see if she can find out exactly where Cammy is. Bomb. Planted towards CT. P coming in from Nessa. That should be it. 13 to 14. How much cash has Vivo Keyd got left to work with as we go into round number 28? So they're going to be able to warrant a good buy here, Jack. Obviously, player there had what? $6,000, $7,000. Joltney could drop over an AK, so they can still go for a 5-player buy. As we head into round number 28. The issue is, though, Jack, if they lose this one and it goes 14-14, they're going to have no cash. They're going to have to play for overtime.
Yeah, that is true, but the same can be said for Squared as well. If there's potential for a reset round, leave them in a horrid position in terms of their weaponry and force out all of that economy, that's when Squared could be struggling to actually find anything. So this is do or die. I feel like really whoever wins this round wins the game, essentially.
Bullet Girl once again with the opening frag, this time towards ramp. She seems to be all over the map as the smoke comes down towards window. 5 versus 4, P250 over Pan as well, so the money and the buy and all the situation for Vivo Keyd is looking strong. They've won 4 rounds so far on their T-sub, but they conceded 8. And if we use that consistency going forward for the rest of this matchup here, Jack, it's not boding too well for the Brazilians.
That is true. I mean, Squared got 6 rounds back-to-back when this the second half started. They just looked fantastic on their CT side. Now they've got the weapons they want as well. This is where surely we should see a resurgence of that, especially when they're getting the first frag into this round, as they wait for the push to come through. If Squared take this, they will be able to equalise the scoreline at 14-14 apiece. If Vivo take it, that'll be at least match point grabbed. They'll be sitting pretty with overtime as that safety net.
Push towards Palace here from Sonic. The bomb makes its way in towards the A site. Obviously, they have aggression here towards A from the CT side. You've also got Bullet Girl's AWP, and it seems like she doesn't really miss the crucial frags. She misses a few times, you know, the 1 versus 3s, 1 versus 2s, you know. But in those crucial entry frags and whatnot, she always delivers, and so does Hellrose into this matchup. Must be on what? Near 30 kills at this point.
Oh yeah, she's got to be close to it because she's just been dealing huge digs, really been decking anyone that dares to come towards her. Push comes through as well. Sonic gets the read, gets the frag. This is going to be that 14th round grab for Squared, so there is no chance. Joltney's the only one left. She might be able to find a lucky frag towards mid back on Ivy. But even then, things are as good as done. The time is over. She needs to get out of there because she has to stay alive. She can't run the risk of losing the AK. She needs to keep it.
14-14. And the cash does not look strong here for Vivo Keyd. They are going to force into it though, Jack. They aren't going to be playing for overtime. Then again, you know, if this game is anything to use, especially on Cobblestone as well, both these teams have been so strong with their pistols. They're going to be lining their smoke so towards the A site. Joltney with the CT smoke. Cammy, stairs. Gabby, I believe, going towards Palace as well. So they are going to move for the double play towards underpass as well. This is going to be a 3 towards ramp, 2 towards underpass, split towards the A site. Trying to get close range with these pistols.
They're taking that underpass control as they slowly tiptoe their way through, trying to keep things undetected. It looked like it was actually going to be a push from Bullet Girl there, but it was just the jump phase to try and get the info, and the read doesn't go for the drop down. But the push does definitely come towards her.
Oh.
They mess it up though, Snods.
The jitters are beginning to show. Hellrose towards stairs, finds 2 frags, and this is going to be a match point, it seems, for Squared prospects, especially when you add to the equation. Sonic towards under the balcony, finds 2. And from a 10-5 half, Jack, they bring this one back, 15-14. No bomb plan as well for Vivo Keyd, so even though they are at $3,000, there isn't that extra bump to send them over the edge so they can afford the AKs and whatnot to facilitate a strong buy. Instead, down to 1 rifle, a Galil for Cammy, UMP for Gabby, pistols across the board as well for the rest of the all-round buy. As they're going to be grouping up towards the B bomb side, Jack. It feels like a B rush is the only call they can make here. They've tried everything.
Yeah, well, let's see as they will go for that gamble. Risk it all for the B play. It's either now or never. They've got to take it into overtime. Or they've got to sacrifice it and take the loss here. Molotovs comes out as the push comes through. Nessa and Co going to ignite everyone that dares to push towards them. Damage is done. Pan responds with a P250. But Vicious comes into effect. There's Bullet Girl as well. Everything is coming up Squared prospects right now. But there There is a resurgence. We fall into this 2v2 Snods, but it's Hellrose that can be the decision maker. Denies the bomb plant. The IGL and captain, the in-game leader that has been leading with style. And not only that, she's been a fragging powerhouse as well all the way throughout the series, Snods. It's just Joltney left, trapped on her lonesome. You doubt she can achieve too much. Hellrose will get that final frag. That's the way it should go. Squared Prospect 16-14, the full 30 rounds. That's 2-0 for them in the second semi-final here, live from Poland. A fantastic feat from the entire squad. For Bullet Girl as well, playing on home soil. There she is. Everyone pumped up, loving it. Spy Leader as well, welcoming their victory.
And now we have our finalists. Dignitas female, Squared Prospects coming into the finals tomorrow. Of course, now, I mean, for the consolation final, obviously, 4th, 3rd, 4th position. Res Gaming versus KeydStars for the matchup tomorrow. Let's see, not looking too happy.
Everyone head in hand. They've taken a heavy hit. It looked like they were bringing it back. They were a margin away from pushing it to that 3rd map, but they couldn't quite grab it, Snods, and it was just too little too late.
It was indeed, but then again, you know, coming into this tournament as well for Hellrose, she loses 2 of her players that go towards Petra. They form Singularity. Singularity don't make it out of groups in Group A, the easy group as well. Hellrose's team now booked their ticket in the finals. Imagine how that's going to be feeling.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling at all. Obviously not the situation you want to be in or the way you'd want it to go. But for them, they're going to be pumped up. They're going to be loving it. Everyone on that squadron has done damage. Everyone stepped up as well. This is the thing. It wasn't just that dynamic duo we were expecting to see. In that final game, Hellrose was leading by example. Everyone started to pop off, and it was good, consistent CS. They looked like a fabulous unit.
Yeah, and it's the fact they brought it back as well from the 10-5 half. Obviously, they win the pistol. It goes 10-7, I believe, and then suddenly the force buy comes through. The Brazilians decided to go for the risky buy. They put it all on hold, all on black, essentially. They go for the high risk, high reward play. If they win that round, Jack, they reset the money. They pretty much win the game and make it, you know, guaranteed spot in terms of train being on the cards. Instead, they lose that round, and it allows for so much space for Squared to come back into this matchup and obviously take it 16-14.
Yeah, I mean, more so there. Any final thoughts on what allowed them to win that matchup, Snods? Because it was a tremendous performance and the resurgence there as well in the final moments. What do you think just gave them that final edge?
Oh, the CT side, definitely. I mean, yes, they were so close. I think it was 2 times from fully resetting the money for Vivo Keyed. You know, they would win a round, and then just before they could reset them, they'd always lose versus the Force. They never really drawed out the ecos, so it goes to show, actually, how hard of a fight back it really was.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they fought tooth and nail. They gave it their absolute all to close that one out, and it just looked fantastic. But for now, we are going to be waiting for a few seconds before we get into that action as we continue on.
Yeah, I believe Matt has a word to say of one of the players from Squared.
Thanks very much. Jackie and Snods taking us through our other semi-final for today, which means that Squared Prospects are through to the grand final of the Intel Challenge Katowice 2018. Congratulations to you, Hellrose. That was an exciting 2-0. That second map a lot closer than the first.
Yeah, it was really close. They picked Cobble, but that's like our favorite map. And we were a bit surprised. We were expecting Train. We were really like preparing for Trade, and then we see Cobble. We were like, okay, they must have watched our demos. And then we just had to play it different because it was obvious that they have done that last night, something that we didn't do.
So we had Train lined up as the decider, but since Cobble was the first one, you must have felt like, well, we can get into a good start here.
Yeah, but we are, like my team, we are a team that has no confidence because we are, like, we are always going at this like underdogs. We have no expectation at all. We don't have anyone that is considered as a star player. And I think that's why it's working for us, because we know we just have to have our back, because we're not going to get that one person that's going to carry us. And yeah, like it's never been like we're going to win or something. We didn't even think we're going to pass the group. We practiced hard, but we had no expectations at all. We said whatever it happens, it just happens. And now it's like happening very nice things, and we're just so happy. And
yeah, things are definitely happening for you. You're live at one of the biggest esports events in the world, competing on our Intel Challenge stage. You say you haven't got sort of one person who carries your team. There's been a few of you together for a while, and then Nessa joined only, I think, 2 days before the qualifiers for this started. How easy has it been getting Nessa into the team?
Well, I've been trying to make a team for so long time, because I always have problems doing that. And we finally formed up the lineup, and then two of the girls, after Petra got removed from Secret, decided to leave me to go to play with her. And then they announced the qualifier. So we had like 3 days or 5 days, something like this, to form up the team. And then Zonic got Zonic Q kicked from her team. We took her, and Nessa was actually someone that we were playing a little before that. And then we did have some other options that were like a better known players, but we said like no, this time we're going for people that we know they're gonna stay in the team even after the event, no matter how it's gonna go. They're not playing for money. They're playing because they want to play the game, and I'm really happy with my team.
It's worked out brilliantly for you. I said this team only got formed a couple of days before qualifiers because you nearly qualified in the first European qualifier. There were two. You were runners-up in the first one, so you were so close, but then the other team got through. Must feel really good to have come back through the qualifiers, qualified to be here, and played better and got further than that other team.
Yeah, well, the team that we lost to, they are 5 really good individual players, and that's what just if we want to win with my team, we need to have stuff like tactics, and we need to do what kind of I say. We can't go like, okay, boost me mid, I go there. We are not that good, so that's why they had advantage over us. Yeah.
So you're saying you're not that good. You're into the grand final of the Intel Challenge Katowice. So that I know feels really good to you. Tomorrow, here on this stage, you'll be playing Team Dignitas for the win. You know that's a big opposition to play against, but you don't seem, you've said already, you've come here with like expectations 0 really. You just want to play your game. So step up against Dignitas. How do you fancy that?
Yeah, for me, I play for a very long time, and I never could meet like the Brazilian team or Dignitas, and now it's like happening that I'm meeting them. I always had a different group. It's always been like, ex-Secret, and it's always the same opponents. We never made it to playoffs and all these things. And now I'm really excited to play Dignitas because I want to play them. We play one Prague game here, and
how did that go?
We won that game, but it's Prague, and it wasn't nothing like, yeah.
We know it's going to be an exciting final then. Right, best of luck for that. Tomorrow I will leave you to regroup with this amazing team who've done so well. Congratulations to Square's prospects who are through to our grand final against Team Dignitas tomorrow. That's it for the contests from today. But let's go back to James Banks and our analyst desk. Talk about that amazing 2-0.
Thank you, Matt. We're back, and 2-0. They said they wanted to play 6 maps, so they've only got 2 more ahead of them if they want to win the Intel Challenge here. And I am very surprised when she said no confidence, because especially Hellrose herself, very experienced, but she ends it with 29 frags on the board. Incredible performance from her, let alone. They win Cobble, which they just openly said was a very strong map for them. They beat Rez on it yesterday. They then dominated Vivo, and now we sit in a situation where they come onto Mirage, and yes, it went right to the wire, but they did their job. What on earth do you guys think of that?
You know, honestly, we were both wrong.
We were all wrong.
We both said that Vivo Keyd was probably going to get away with the win. But unfortunately, even on Mirage at the very end, you could see how scared Vivo was playing.
Yeah.
Which is really, I don't want to say weird, but, you know, they are as good as Squared in the server, but it didn't show up. They didn't show up today. They didn't show how good they are, I think. But at the same time, you know, they can't be disappointed in top 4. And tomorrow they're gonna play for 3rd place finish, so it's not over. Yeah, I think they should be really proud of what they did today. And as far as Squared, have you seen that interview? That interview was so adorable.
Yeah.
I told you guys, these 2 teams are just great.
Well, if they need a player, then you're going to Squared. I've already said it. We're just relining this for you.
Yeah, she's so adorable. She's like, I've never been this far. Kind of like, you know, she's so cute.
The dreams, the stars
yeah,
of the line.
I think she's selling herself really short. We've seen the L rolls on the circuit for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
She's a veteran. She knows how it works, and she looked extremely calm today.
Very, yeah, completely composed.
Yeah, I mean, she said that her team's not confident, and today it looked like their team played the most confident of all the teams today.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was very surprised to hear her say that. So that's a good thing moving forward against Dignitas tomorrow, if they feel confident. And as far as Vivo, you know, playing scared, playing a little hesitant, yes. going into tomorrow, I think for them is important because they made the WEGS tournament. So to come across with a win against Res Gaming, who they're playing tomorrow in the third, fourth place decider, I think is really important to them. And I think they actually have an advantage going into that because Res is kind of like, they expected to be in the final.
Yeah.
Now they're playing the third, fourth. Are they going to put their best foot forward? So I think it's important for Vivo to, like, you know, stay in and keep their heads high moving into tomorrow and the next tournament.
Well, we've got some highlights to look over from what we saw here on Mirage, and let's be honest, it was a very close game. It was so back and forth, and I was praising Nessa early on. Hellrose stepped up when needed. Shoalina ended on 30 kills, but it wasn't enough to bring her team through.
It's unfortunate because we saw some great things from Vivo Key during that game. I think mid-round, though, that's where Vivo needs to work on for WEGS if they want to have more success. Their mid-round was a little shaky. Early rounds was really good. So if they can just like work on potentially being more aggressive together as a team, regrouping, getting into those bomb sites way before 20 seconds left in the round, they were cutting it short like a lot.
Yeah, that's where they were playing a little hesitant. You know, they weren't giving themselves a lot of time to win the round, and they were kind of rushing towards the end a lot of the times. But, you know, I think they actually played pretty well overall.
Yeah.
They, you know, brought forth a lot of confidence that we weren't expecting to see from a team that's really never been on the stage. So it's always good to see.
It's almost all positives from both teams, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, one of them had to win, and Square did better today.
Yeah, Squared came out all guns blazing. They've hit their 4 maps, as I was saying. 6 is the dream, but Dignitas is the team that stands in their way for this. And I do want to take a moment to actually say here that for the Brazilian side, right, for their first international event, to do so well, to come so close, you've got to be proud of what they've actually managed to achieve here. And going into that third place game, like you were talking about there, this is actually like their thing. They can come and bounce back from that, because taking that third place, gaining even further experience will be huge for them. But I've got a lot of admiration for what they've managed to achieve here just across this weekend. Like, that's a huge step. First international event and ending within the top 4 is like, you can't be complaining about that.
They
you
showed
saw how
up.
much it meant to them.
Yeah, they showed up, and they showed that Brazil and Women Counter-Strike is probably here to stay, hopefully.
Yes.
I'm sure it's going to motivate a lot of Brazilians over there to play more Counter-Strike, and maybe we're going to see more Brazilian teams, female teams, like be successful in the scene, because we know how Counter-Strike is popular on the male side. So hopefully it creates this wave of amazing players that's going to reach the next Katowice event.
Oh yes, let's bring them over, let's make it happen. We love these passionate Brazilian fans as well. Now we do have the brackets to take a look at, so let's see how today went. The original semi-finals, the one that we expected in the finals. Dignitas taking on Res Gaming. It went 2-1. It was an absolute blaze of back and forth, but in the end, Dignitas managed to close it out very convincingly, catching Res off guard. We just saw the Squared Prospect versus Vivo Keyd. 2-0, and okay, it's 2-0, but you know, the 16-40 end on Mirage was close. The Cobble bit ended up working out for him. Now we get a grand final that wasn't expected, but is going to be very entertaining, I'm sure. And I think Dignitas has to be looking at this and saying, okay, they are a good team. This isn't something we can underestimate. So we're looking for a great finals day tomorrow. I'm already excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a great final. And I think for Dignitas, it's really simple. Match plan. Stick to the match plan, and we're not going to lose this final.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. If you get nervous, if you don't follow what we worked on online, that's how they're going to lose.
Yeah, definitely. Squared moving in tomorrow, I hope they said they're not confident, but I hope they play as confident as they looked in the server today. And they have a shot as long as their map pulls. I'm still not exactly sure what maps they're great on.
Yeah.
It seems like they're pretty confident on Mirage, but you know, maybe like Dignitas is going to ban that out. We'll see, because their map pool is so deep. That's the only worry I have for Square tomorrow, is just their depth and their map pool.
Yeah, they've got some good picks in there that can work in that Dignitas matchup, but ultimately, if we see maybe a Cobble then overpassing the decider, it's going to be really interesting, right? They're the maps that both these teams probably going to be looking to play, but I'm excited for tomorrow. Let's see how it goes. Thank you very much for all your work today, and joining us on this desk, especially you, Cody. You didn't have to be here. You stepped in.
Thank you.
He shined, didn't he? He came out, all guns blazing, made it work. But that's what I'm expecting for tomorrow. It is the end of the show. It's grand finals day tomorrow. Make sure you join us from 12:30. We're going to have the third place decider. Then we're going to go to the grand final, the main event. You do not want to miss this, because history in female Counter-Strike is going to be made here at the Intel Challenge Katowice 2018. We'll see you tomorrow.